Hey, Rock on Beer viewers, happy F Friday. Yeah, we're not live this week. We're not gonna be maybe we might not be going live for a little. We're gonna take a little quickie break, a little breaky poo. Um, yeah, last Friday was fun, wild but fun. I um I did end up staying up till 3 and beyond to have a homebrew club meeting on the East Coast time over in the U.S. So yeah, basically after drinking, I don't even know how many beers and seltzers mixed in that giant cup. I just decided to stay up the whole night, and yeah, it did a number on the weekend. I can tell you that. Saturday is kind of just a blur of pain and suffering. So this week we're going back. We're gonna take it easy. We're gonna just go back to a single, a half and a half, one half and then another half, live on tape. So I went actually, and funny enough, I didn't have to go to the supermarket this time for those beers. I went to work earlier this week. I went to the office, and afterwards, since I had taken a Corona test, I went downtown to a bar. I can't remember if I mentioned this on Homer Wednesday or not, but yeah, I forget what I talk about. Like I've said, I think 100 times. I literally have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about most of the time. But I went down to a bar because here in Denmark, if to go inside of a bar and have a beer, you have to have a negative Corona test, and you have an app. Everybody here has an app with a little passport in it that says that I've tested in the recent days. And then you go in there and you show them that, and they're like, "All right, well, great, have a beer." Well, they don't like give you the beer; you still gotta pay for it. So I went down and I did that. And on my way out, this bar, my favorite bar, Christian Viertel here in town, they also have a little bottle shop. So I did some F Friday shopping on my way out the door, and I picked up these two guys. Look at that. These guys didn't come from the supermarket. Meow meow. Yeah, so this is hazed and infused from Flying Couch, and that is a hazy. I did mention this because I drank the other Flying Couch beer that I bought on Wednesday, didn't I? So I don't know how much I talked about it. Anyway, that is hazed and infused, a hazy IPA from the couch that is in the air, flying about, and this is Svat from Bad Seed Brewing Company and OO. So it's a collab. Um, Bad Seed is a Danish company. OO is I'm pretty sure they're Swedish, if I remember. And this is a Schwarzbier hopped with Tettnang and Saphir. Uh, and it's also with some rye malt in it. So it's a rye Schwarzbier. This one hopped right out at me, basically just because of Kitty Cat there on the front, and then I read that it was a Schwarzbier, and I was like, sold, totally sold. Love me a Schwarzbier. That's a black lager if you don't sprechen this Deutsch. And then I didn't even realize it had rye in it. So that's like double sold. It's like triple sold with Kitty Cat on the front. I'm gonna just crack these guys open. I wanna give them a try before. I think I've had hazed and infused before. Oh man, the price tag got in there. All right, well this one's gonna be infused with the price tag apparently. I'm pretty sure I've had that. I'm gonna go ahead and take the price tag off this one before I think I've had this hazed and infused before. It's, as far as I remember, just a hazy IPA. But this Svat I have not had before, so I wanted to give this a try before I go tanning it up. And I'm gonna try and save some of these because I'm gonna enjoy them separately a little bit afterwards. So there's the, oh, look at that. Yeah, that's got that classic Schwarzbier. I've always found it funny because if you go and you buy a German Schwarzbier, right? It literally translates to black beer, but all of the traditional examples are really more brown than they are, or deep amber than they are black. Uh, Kostlitzer, that's my go-to. It used to be when we would go down to the border shops, when we lived closer to the German border. I would buy cases of that stuff because it was my I loved that beer. I still love that beer. You can't get it. You can't just buy it here. You have to buy it on the border, which is weird. I don't know why they don't just sell it here, but oh well. Oh man. So there's actually some dark malt in here. There's actually a bit of roast. That's not usually a Schwarzbier has very mild malt character, like dark malt characteristics. Oh yeah, that's got some nice noble hop to it, and it's got some dark roasted malt. That's good stuff. Yeah, definitely in the realm of Schwarzbier, but definitely a like craft Schwarzbier. It's got some hot bitterness to it too. That's not something you usually get in the old Schwarzbier either. Ah, that is very good. There's a bit of a hoppiness to it, like a pumped up. It's like basically a Schwarzbier on steroids. Let's go with that old way of saying things. What do we got here? It smells like pineapple. Oh, sorry, I was a little COVID in my throat. No, I got the test to prove it. Well, it's not good anymore, but oh yeah, very pineapple-y, very fruity, very yeah, very light and creamy. Uh, I would guess that there's mosaic in this. It tastes like mosaic, but yeah, they did not write on there. All right, we're at 8 minutes. I better get to the half and the half, and or else I won't have any time to waffle or prattle or whatever you want to call it. Mug, going Schwarzbier on the bottom. Like I said, I'm not gonna go all out on this half and half. Unless it's really good. Maybe I'll miss out if I don't go all in. But I do want to kind of enjoy these on the side too. All right, let's go. Let's go with some haze spot haze. Oh, let's see. These I'm not so sure if they're gonna separate or not. I Oh my god, it actually looks like this hazy one is. It looks like they're actually trading places. You can see right down there on the bottom. All right, well, it appears that the hazed and infused is quite a bit more. I actually probably should have flipped this around and done hazed and infused on the bottom. I thought I'd be able to taste that, but this is. See, it has that New England IPA sweetness to it, but I just thought that it has both wheat and oats, both flaked wheat and torrefied oats. So I just thought that big body was that were those adjuncts and not a more sweetness. But yeah, I should have thought that I thought that they would be similar. That this would be a little sweeter. It is definitely not. Something like a Kostlitza, I feel like, is a little bit sweeter. of a Schwarzbier. I should have thought that this would be bone dry, like a dry stout. Um, but actually, I mean, look at that. There is a tiniest bit of separation, and they did flip flop there, which is kind of neat. Before I mess around with anymore, I'm just gonna drink this thing. After last week, I mean, what am I, Dr. Science? It smells nice. It smells like pineapple Schwarzbier now. Yeah, that's nice. It reminds me a lot of an India brown ale I did homebrewed once with I think it was Mosaic. Must have been Mosaic Citra because that's kind of the vibes this is giving off. It's kind of that pineapple-y citrus, and then with just the teeniest tiniest touch of roasted chocolate. Well, shit, I don't know. It might not have separated, but it tastes damn good. Man. All right. I'll admit I bought these beers because I wanted to drink them, not because I didn't have anything else to half and half. So this is what you get. You get black pineapple. It's a good name for a beer, black pineapple. If I had more Mosaic, I would brew another India brown ale. Maybe I should do that. I'm still chasing this beer I got one time. It's one of those experiences, you had. Speaking of Christian Fiatel, that's where I had it. Um, the my one of my favorite Danish breweries here is called Amager. They do, amongst other things, Todd the X Man up there, and they I don't know how much they do it anymore, but they used to do a keg only, like experimental monthly, where they would brew a batch of beer and it wouldn't be bottled or canned. It would just go on draft around Denmark, and then they would get like feedback on it. And if it was super popular, then they would bottle it. And they had this beer. Shit, now I'm trying. I think it was Palpatine's Morning Juice, I think is what it was called. So, and it was an India brown ale, and that thing was so juicy, but it still had the brown ale. It was like a perfect balance between super juicy IPA, New England type IPA, and an American brown ale, where you could get the juice, but you still got a bit of the chocolate. And that's a flavor they've never made it again, um, as far as I know. But that beer, I've been chasing that. I've made two, three India brown ales now. I think trying to chase that dragon down, and I've never been able to hook it. Maybe I should take another swing at it. I think it was probably Citra and Mosaic, or maybe Galaxy. So many. It's one of those things where it could be anything. But I think I got a good brown ale recipe with brown malt in it. I love brown malt. I think it gives you that nice roasty chocolate flavor without giving you too much color roast. That doesn't make any sense. It gives you that roast flavor without too much roast. Doesn't make any freaking sense. Yeah, you might know what I mean. If you're a home brewer, you know what I mean. Yeah, this is close to it. This is maybe I ought to make a Schwarzbier and then hop it with Galaxy and Citra, or Mosaic and Citra. That's the way to go. Oh, 15, 14 minute ramble, man. I wonder if we can juice it up just a little bit more. Yeah, that's really nice. So you see, that's also one of the cool things about. I mean, all the crazy shenanigans of trying to layer 15 beers on top of each other and getting wicked trashed and all that aside, I think one of the cool things, like side effects of doing these half and halves, these Epic Friday beers, is that you get to experience kind of an experimental flavor, how two beers go together, or what they could be if you merged like the recipes together. So something like this reminds me a lot of that. India Brown Ale. Who would have thought that if you added a Schwarzbier and a New England IPA, I think it's just cool. It's the kind of experimentation I really like in homebrewing. But I mean, obviously, it's much easier to do this than it is to brew, a full batch of beer on a hunch and see how it comes out. I mean, I've done that a million times. In fact, that's usually what I like to do when I'm brewing. I like to try something crazy or something that might be out of the ordinary. But it's nice to. I mean, has anybody ever done a? Oh yeah, people have done India Schwarz, India Black Lagers. That's probably what they're called. Yeah, people have done it. Everything's been done, but not by me. Maybe I make an India Black Lager. Maybe I do it. Maybe I'm gonna do it. I got a lot of other stuff to do. I got a lot of other brewing thingies to do. Gotta finish these beers first, though. All right, guys. Thank you for listening to this ramble about. I was going to talk more about the bar and how kind of weird it was, and being on vacation this long weekend and trying to brew and that stuff. But instead, I got waxing poetic about some beer I had a million years ago, and my white whale, my white whale. Call me Ishmael. And I call you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. And yeah, sorry I wasn't so crazy this week, but the liver needs a long weekend too. Cheers, guys.